On the programme this afternoon,
the International Tattoo Show arrives in Manchester for its 14th visit to the city.
Salford University student Michael Miller speaks of his win at the BBC Worldwide Showcase.
And Tom Percival has his review of It Follows. Good afternoon, welcome to Quays News.
We start today's programme with some breaking news. Roads have been closed after a man was hit by a tipper truck in Ortonshaw.
Emergency services were at the scene after a car had collided with a pedestrian on Moss Way this morning. Traffic is now reported to have been affected, causing queues, with the A635 Manchester Road being closed in both directions.
But our top story today. 2 students from the University of Salford have won a BBC Worldwide competition. Michael Miller and Kyle Ross stood in front of a panel of judges to present an idea for a new television programme.
Now, we met up with Michael earlier and asked him to tell us a little bit more about the idea itself. Michael, first of all, thank you ever so much for joining us today and congratulations. First of all, tell us a little bit about the idea.
The idea is called Compose Yourself. In a nutshell, it's a game show, it's a contest for songwriters. Every week the judges will give them a song title, then they've got 6 days to go off and write a song, and the best one gets put through to the next round.
All right, and where did the inspiration come from?
The inspiration, it was one year I was watching an episode of The X Factor and there was a man who was on, he'd been writing songs for bands like One Direction. He went on singing his own song. The judges, I don't think, put him through because they didn't feel like he could sing enough. And I was thinking, he deserves a lot of praise. So I was thinking maybe we could have a game show for songwriters. And I saw it hadn't been done. Thought I might as well write one.
Now, in the competition, there was 2 other universities involved, Liverpool
Yes.
and Chester. Now, was there much competition between the 3 teams?
I wouldn't say so, because I don't think we hardly spoke to each other. It was all, I was with the other group from Salford Uni. We were talking because we get on well. I don't think there was much talking between the other universities, but it wasn't a strict game. It wasn't a strict contest. Everyone felt quite relaxed about it.
So, did you ever think that you would win?
No.
No, not at all.
That's one thing, because when I came out of the pitch, the other team were asking how did I get on. I said it was good but not great. I wasn't expecting on winning.
So now that you've won, what happens next?
Well, I've got work experience. They've offered me at BBC North Entertainment, and I won an iPad Mini. But in terms of my show, it's unlikely, but you never know. They might like it so much they want to make it.
And finally, how long did you have to pitch the idea?
I only had 5 minutes to pitch it, and then there was a 5-minute Q&A. But the first 30 seconds of my pitch was Kyle singing.
Well, congratulations, and thank you ever so much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Now, that's some really great news for Michael and Kyle there, and we wish them all the best. Now, a long-serving retailer of the streets of Manchester has put down the latches for the last time on Friday.
Stephen Murphy has retired from a career of running a fruit stall after 32 years in the job. Rachel Davies has the report.
It's the end of an era for one of Manchester's retailers. Stephen Murphy has managed a fruit stall outside House of Fraser on Deansgate for the past 32 years, but now he's decided it is time to retire. Stephen closed up his business last Friday and told me there have been many highs and lows since he started serving the community in 1983.
I think the first day was one of the highlights, because when I come here they had what they call the Blue Cross Day. It was like a sale day, you know, in January, and the queue was right down the road here, and I remember the figure was 360 quid. I thought, God, I've done it at last.
Stephen claims he has been losing trade because of the amount of supermarkets that have opened in the city centre, so now it is the right time to close. What is Stephen planning to do during his retirement?
Not finishing completely. I'm doing a few little deliveries that I've always done, but that doesn't take all my day up, so I hope to spend a lot of time at home and watch a bit of television, which I've never done, and have a bit of a lie-in as well, which I've never done, because I get up at 4 o'clock. It's quite early in the morning, and then I have to go to the market every day, and so I won't have much of that to do.
Memories were captured on camera, and Stephen would like to thank his customers who have received their £5 a day from the stall.
Thanks very much for a lot of people, and I can't believe there's that many people I know. Some of them have come here, they got married and had kids, and their kids come here. Can you believe it, all that time?
The stall is council owned, so it will be now passed on to a new owner, but for Stephen it is time to pack up and move on after a memorable career. Rachel Davis reporting for Quays TV News.
Well, we're very sorry for the break in programming. We had a bit of an incident in the building, but we're all safe and we're back on air. Now, Antonia Hunter has joined us at the desk to take a look at what's been happening in the papers. And I think we're going to lead with the MEN, where there's a rather unfortunate story for some plane spotters.
Yes, 3 men, 2 of whom are from Stockport, have been arrested in Dubai for plane spotting as part of their 4-day trip there. The authorities in the United Arab Emirates have declared their activity as a matter of national security, and they can hold them as long as they want in prison over there. Definitely unfortunate for plane spotting.
Now, moving on to The Guardian then, they're leading with a political story about David Cameron's proposal to better protect people who have suffered abuse.
Yes, in the wake of the Rotherham revelation, David Cameron's new proposal is to as you've said, provide better protection for those who are abused by holding professionals accountable. So this means that they would be, if found guilty of ignoring or failing to act upon child abuse, they would be subject to 5 years in prison and also denied any exit payment as well.
OK, so moving on to the Sun. Now, though they, alongside all the other tabloids, are leading with this story about Adam Johnson, the footballer.
Yes, Sunderland's Adam Johnson has been arrested after revelations of a relationship with an under 16-year-old girl. However, whilst the police are investigating, he is freed on bail.
And then finally, the Daily Mail has put the decline in stay-at-home mothers as their top story.
Yes, new figures have shown that women choosing to look after their family or stay at home for their occupation has dropped in over a third over the past 20 years. This doesn't include those who are unemployed though. However, there are still 1 in 10 women who choose to stay at home and 1 in 100 men who choose.
OK, Antonia, thank you very much for joining us.
Kieran is here with today's sport.
Now, with a number of our non-league clubs making promotion pushes, it was another big weekend of matches. In the conference, Macclesfield slipped to a 4-0 defeat at Eastleigh. Hyde battled to a good point at Gainsborough Trinity, drawing 3-3 in the Conference North, whilst FC United strengthened their position at the summit of the Northern Premier, winning 2-1 away at Grantham. And in the First Division North, Salford City stayed top with a 6-0 win over Padiham. FC United of Manchester celebrate their 10th birthday this year. With their promotion run in full tilt, they can also look forward to moving into their brand new stadium. Lewis Smith has more.
It will all be over by Christmas. Those are the words of former Manchester United player Alan Gowling when breakaway club FC United of Manchester first formed in 2005. 10 years on, and not even the most optimistic of FC fans would have predicted that the club would be on the brink of opening its own stadium. But here we are, Broadhurst Park, the new home of FC United of Manchester.
I think this shows what football supporters can actually do when they have a vision of something different and when they come together with a common purpose. I mean, the facility that we're sat in this afternoon is a £6.2 million facility that's been at least 50% financed by the supporters through a £2 million raised community share issue.
The ground is not just for the use of the EvoStick Premier League leaders, it is also a considerable community investment.
We hope it'll have a big impact on the local community. We've got the all-weather pitches out the front of the stadium. They'll be available for community use during the week. We've got grass pitches beyond that where Moston Juniors will be playing their games. So we've got that going on. We've already been speaking to a number of other sporting organisations.
The Rebels fans may be dreaming of promotion, but for them, the dream of a new home is now a reality. Lewis Smith, Quays TV News.
That's it for sport. Now here's Kate with today's weather forecast.
Good afternoon. Now, it was a cold and a very wintry start this morning. There is plenty of sunshine around, especially this afternoon, but we do still have a weather warning out for today, so watch out for the snow and ice on untreated surfaces later on tonight. It's a mixture of rain, sleet and snow tomorrow, unfortunately, with a drier afternoon and plenty of wintry sunshine around. Temperatures will be getting that little bit higher of around 5 to 7 degrees, but then dropping again and becoming much milder by the weekend.
Well, that's it from Quays News today. Unfortunately, we have had to miss a few stories, but they will be available online after the programme. Don't forget to join us again on Thursday. Bye-bye for now.
Goodbye.